What's up, landlords? Renee here, aka the Forever Landlord. I'm just gonna test this live thing out. I haven't done it in a while, and I'm waiting for my weekly landlording live that I do with landlording school. And I figured I might start jumping on here and going live first, and then if anybody jumps on the Zoom calls, I'll just end the live, and then I'll go into the calls with the landlords. These calls are inside landlording school. They're private, and they're only there for 72 hours, and then I actually delete them so people can talk freely and they're not worried about it being like, shared anything. And then since I got you here, I guess you can see my screen. I've been working on the onboarding, welcoming new members, showing them around about school, who I am, the schooler guide, how to use school, the live calls, which I'm kind of about to do one right now in a few minutes. And then the daily activities, how school works. It's different than regular social medias. Posting guidelines for the community, the whatnot, me, my, I post, and then you're done. And then I have a landlord quest. But behind this, I've filmed myself doing a rental property tenant turnover inspection, and I have a form, a resource that I can give to the landlords to show them exactly how I methodically, I methodically film everything first, and then I inspect it, and I do it in a it's similar to how I was taught when I was in the military, police. There's different ways to search a crime scene and all that stuff. But I basically focus on top, middle, bottom, and 360. So I start with outside and the inside, and I have this Google Doc that's step by step taking you through everything so you don't forget anything. But that's it. Let me see if anybody jumps on this call. Let me start the Zoom launch.
Recording in progress.
Got my virtual camera going on here. If anybody jumps on the Zoom call, I'm gonna end the live, but I welcome you guys to scope me out on school. You can go to foreverlandlord.com and then read more and figure out how to get to school or whatever. If you don't know about school, it's really early, and it's like I think it's like early times of YouTube or like Facebook or something like that. It's going to be big in the future. If you don't know about it, you will find out eventually. So I guess I can see if this will play. I don't know if you guys can hear what I got going on. See some of the raw footage. I'm editing it in Final Cut Pro, and it's just my wife was filming me, and at the same time I'm filming the footage, trying to demonstrate to people kind of how to do it. So I'm trying to show two different angles, and then at the same time, whenever I have it all done, I'm going to try to do this version where I chop the screen and I'm also in it and I'm narrating and explaining. So let's see if you can hear this.
First thing I want to do is I want to show up before it's nighttime.
I don't know if you heard that, but I said I'm trying to show up before it's nighttime. Let me see.
And I'm just going to take one photo.
You're just taking a photo of the front. This is some footage I got blacked out because I don't know if I'm going to use it. Then
I'm starting a video.
What I'm doing there is starting a video from the front yard, front entrance, and then I'm gonna go up, down, filming everything. And this footage is really useful because if you ever need to refer back to it, you can be like, hey, was there a water spigot on that side of the house? Or how many windows is it? And counting outlets and light switches and everything like that. And this footage is really helpful. So the point here is you want to make the video quick when you go around the outside to save time, because you don't want a really big file. I'm not talking and narrating anything in the video. In this case, I'm demonstrating it for you guys to show you kind of how I do it. But in real life, like if I was there, I would just quickly just kind of boom, boom, boom all the way around, and then I would go into the inside. But this is kind of giving you a glimpse of that. I'm walking around the side of the house. I'm trying to get the roof line. So you can see that's me coming around the back side, trying to get the roof. You can see that. Going around. Trying to get the roof line, see if there's any shingles missing or anything like that. The front.
Okay, now I have one video done of 360 the outside. I'm gonna go inside and do the same kind of methodical nature, taking a video from top, middle, bottom, and try to do 360 every room.
So from here, the footage is really long, and I'm going to chop it up and try to make it shorter. So people watching this may not be bored of, you know, all this footage of this house. It's just another property, no big deal. But let me see if I can kind of narrate as I see the footage. This is the entrance. Seeing how I'm going in a big circle, up, down, up, down. Because what I'm looking at is things like outlets down low, tile. Light switches is kind of like regular eyesight windows. And then when you go up, you have vents a lot in Florida, and ceiling fans and lights and different stuff like that. So that was the footage of me, my wife filming me, and then here's the footage of me actually doing it. And it might seem like you'll get dizzy and like, oh my gosh, this footage. It's not meant to be pretty and, you know, special. Like, you can pause it if you need to see something, and if you're counting outlets or light switches or anything like that, you can tell it's a light switch or an outlet right there if it's kind of blurry because you move too fast. But it is helpful if you try to move your camera slow. So see, there's a chandelier when you first come in. You might not kind of even recognize that or think about it if you're doing an inspection with anybody else. I noticed you saw the door. It has a electronic e-lock. It has the peephole or whatever you say it. There's a smoke detector that you just see right there. So there's a lot when you do this up down. There's a vent. That's where the AC vent is. Do you see the door stop? Do you see the low outlet right there? There's the thermostat. I mean, there's just this footage right here is just priceless. If you're going to send somebody to inspect the property, once I get this video all done and hopefully it's cleaner and shorter, this would be a good, you know, case study or an example. Say, hey, can you do something like this on this address here for me? I'm out of state or out of town. And then also you can accompany the resource that I have with it, but you want to explain to whoever's doing it. It's just, I'm hoping I can make it clear in the video. It's quick footage of the outside, and then when you go inside, it's quick footage. Then once I get through all this demonstration here, you actually see where I'm taking still images of specific items that are of concern. One thing I did miss in this that I thought about after is the driveway is broken up because of roots. I would have and should have mentioned it in the video and just took a picture of the driveway. That could be like a large CapEx kind of expenditure that you can defer, but in this, you can defer that expense. But when you capture it in the footage and then you take a photo and then you annotate it on your tenant turnover and rehab checklist that I have, it's there. You're able to track it. You can start getting quotes, and you know this big expense is coming up, but it's not necessarily needing, you don't need to address it right now in this turnover, but you know about it. I go to the kitchen. See, I'm not opening up or testing anything. Like, I'm not opening up all the drawers in the kitchen or the cabinets, or I'm not testing the appliances to see if the oven works or anything, or the garbage disposal. That's what you do after you film your footage. And then if you find an issue, that's when you take a picture, and that's when you annotate it. So this is the garage. I did the whole, 360 up, down, and around. And one thing I did notice with my inspection later, I come back and take a picture of it, was the garage motor. Like the back of it was falling off. And unfortunately, the way I got this footage, I got it stacked on top of other footage, so you really can't see what's behind it. Okay, when I got into the master, the footage showed that there was a lot of hard water on the glass, like windows around the shower. I took pictures of that after the fact. The windows in this dining room over here, I remember the windows being dirty. You could even notice it from the outside when I was doing my inspection. I took a picture of that. See exhaust vents in the bathrooms. Those are helpful when you film the ceiling. A lot of times people don't do that. Also, you would notate if the ceiling is like, you know, turning like off white, or, you know, there's some smokers in there. And that's also something in the checklist. You want to annotate anything that you can't take a picture after the footage is over. You might want to say something about the smell. If there's smokers in there, and even though you have no smoking policy, they might be in there vaping or smoking, or it just stinks because like they're just dirty people, or they had an animal. You won't want to put that in there and address that. Other things that you would mention on that checklist would be like, let's say, noisy, loud, rowdy neighbors, or barking dogs, or some kind of unusual circumstantial like heavy traffic, anything like that that you might want to be aware of. This is the closet going around. Now here's me in after the footage is over. I think it took me 4 minutes to film everything inside. I wanted to point out to you guys, like, hey, I identified with my inspection that the exhaust vent, the under the microwave right there, whenever you're cooking, you turn the vent on, it's dirty, it gets greasy and stuff, and you need to wash that. And so what I'm going to do here is I took a picture, and I got it kind of overlaid on top of the footage, and you can see how it's kind of brown. I don't know if I can zoom in, but it's really simple to address this. In my other YouTube channel, where I have self-service management, where it's a short, quick 4K how-to videos, how to do stuff. I'm going to put together a video showing people how to clean those with some Dawn soap. It's really easy. And there's no me talking before. There's no me talking during it. And after, there's just automatically just ends. It's really short, straight to the point. My wife narrates it because these are resources that I share with the tenants to try to help them, you know, self-serve. Like self-service is kind of like Google and, you know, even self-checkouts and stuff. Everybody's handing the work lower and lower down to the end user. Similar with me, with my rentals, I'm recruiting, partnering with the tenant to handle stuff. So I need to require, or, you know, I kind of, you know, build this trust over time and kind of give them the resources to do stuff. But before I get them involved and I'm like requiring them to take action, there's like a journey that they go through, and they have the resources and know-how, and I've worked with them back and forth. But I want to be able to give them resources on my website and FAQs and stuff like that. And a lot of times I'll ask questions. I have this like, you know, kind of little formula that I use when asking like some troubleshooting questions, getting them involved. And you take a sense of pride in your work, or a sense of ownership when you're involved in it. And this is not a hotel. So anyways, that's just a little bit about how I go about stuff. That's the photo that I took of the dining room windows being kind of like dirty. They need to be cleaned. That's the master windows. And then I went back into the garage and took this photo of the motor. It's hard to tell here, but it's like the back part is falling off, like maybe it's broken latches. And then that's a picture of the glass door and the master bath, where it's like hard water. And then that's me saying, you know, pretty much if you move quick, it takes 10-15 minutes to do this inspection. Let me see if I can pull up this resource that I built for this. I'm in the process of building this stuff all out, so I don't really have it prepared, and I was expecting somebody to jump on this call, but if nobody shows up for within the first 15 minutes, I think it's 10 or 15 minutes, I just end the Zoom call and I get off, and I'll upload this video. I might talk about a little something and say, hey, nobody showed up for the Landlording Live, catch you next week, you know, and here's what I'm working on. But before I get off here, I want to see if I can show you this resource that's in the classroom. It's in the Castle Keep. Okay, so I'm trying not to show away too much, because this is behind a paywall. It's only for serious landlords that really want to master DIY property management. So I want to respect that for the people. Okay, so here's inside the classroom, and let me see if I can pull this out. I have the ideal rental checklist. I have the rental repair forecaster. I'm labeling this, what am I calling this? The turnover and rehab roadmap. So I'm gonna explain why you would care, give you an example about kind of how I do it, and then I'm gonna show other people the resources, how they can do it. Like, it's your turn. Here's the Google Doc that I have. And basically, let me see if I can pull this over. Just in a nutshell, you start with the exterior, the roof line, the gutters, the siding, the accents, features, hardscape, yard, utilities, structure, miscellaneous, safety. And I have in parentheses things to think of, like, the chimney vents, missing shingles, the fascia, soffit, eaves, downspouts, drains, catch basins, cladding, siding, stucco, bricks, trim. But this is when you take your time and you're actually inspecting it. Then what you could do is just say, hey, in this example, the shingles are dirty, so you just click here and just select one of the drop downs, and I check clean and pressure wash if the shingles on the roof are dirty. And you want to track the age of these items. So the useful life expectancy, age, let's say the roof is 15 years, but you expect it to last 30 years. Obviously, a quick clean pressure wash will be, all we need for this if you have shingles that are dirty and grimy. And then this would be something you want to handle ASAP, and you would track your progress and mark it complete. And I just walk in a methodical nature you through the whole exterior process and then inside, and I use parentheses to kind of, and these arrows say, okay, up, everything all around, and then at the down. And these are little flags that you can list out stuff, select the drop down. And there's also notes and other things about how the life expectancy of different items. I want to, and one of the other resources I give that, I think. Anyways, you can budget for this. You can do the materials, equipment, like if you're doing it in-house or and labor, or you want to outsource it, and then you can do a timeline. But I thought I had notes in here for how long the stuff lasted. I must have put that in the rental repair forecaster. And this one is where I try to help everybody out with the life expectancy estimated. Okay, how long the appliances last, indoor items, outdoor items, and give some estimated costs for a light rehab construction. But anyways, this is just a sneak peek of what's inside a landlording school. And if you're a DIY landlord and you self-manage and you're interested in this stuff, I'd love for you to check out landlord school or landlording school. Just go to foreverlandlord.com and you can learn more. That's it. See you guys. I'm out.